Hello and welcome back. So in the previous video, we looked at how to perform some integer arithmetic in our bash script. If you're paying attention, you realize that after creating a file, we did not declare our shebang, but then when we run it, it still runs. It shows that by default, it uses the bash shell to run the script for us, right? So you should always declare your shebang, right? Always try to do that just in case someone else tries to run the script outside your system. Okay, so we correct that here. And then in this video, we focus on how to do the floating point arithmetic. So now we touch a file and then make it executable. So I touch float math. Let me call it float math.sh, and then I shmod it 755 float math.sh, right? Float math.sh. Now when I check my file explorer, I should see float math.sh right here for me. Okay. So here we can start practicing. So in this video, we would look at two main ways of doing floating point arithmetic or any other serious math at all. The first one is by using the awk utility, and then the next one will be by using the BC, that's for basic calculator utility. Calculator. So before then, we have to declare our shebang. So shebang and then space bin space bash. Okay. Now that we have this, before we start looking at doing some serious calculations or writing some serious scripts, let's try and do something. So to use awk, right, we can just say echo awk. Sorry, let's first try and run the awk command. Now to run the awk command, you just do awk, right, and then you say begin, and then in curly braces you put your print statement, right? What do you want to print? I want to do straight *3, right? If I save this and I run this script // floating math, we get 9, right? The awk returns 9 for us. So if I do, what about 3.4? Sorry, 3.4. If I should save this file and run it, I get 10.2. So you see now this returns the float, the decimals for us, right? Okay, 0.88 in our distance. Okay, but then this is just printing. So let's see how we can actually do some serious stuff here. So here, before I print, I want to say let x or assign x to be 4, right? After assigning, you have to terminate it with a semicolon, and then y to be maybe 2.3. Then you terminate it with a semicolon, and then you can now say that print what? Let's say x star y for me, right? So if I run this, I expect it to return 9.2. That's 4 times 2.3, right? So basically, this is how we do it. You can change any of these things and then even make this star. Okay, so let's see, star this. What does it do? Okay, so what if I want to raise to the power? If I use the caret, would it work? Yep. So if you want to do x raised to the power that, so let's see, 4 raised to the power 2 is supposed to be 16, and here we go. So we can use this awk utility to actually do some serious math. So let's see whether we can use it to do our normal. So you know that sine x. So let's say sine of 0 is 0. So I expect that sine 0 should be 0. That is it. And then cos 0 should be 1. So if I copy this and I paste this, I expect that cos 0 to be what? 1. 1. And we get 1, right? So we can actually use the awk utility. It's just awk, and then in quotes, you start with a begin in caps, and then in curly braces, you do this. But remember, if you don't print, you will not get anything, right? So make sure you print, right? And then while you print too, you should know that you can assign variables. Once you are assigning variables or you are declaring variables, you terminate each declaration without a semicolon. Keep that in mind. Semicolon to terminate each declaration. So basically, so to do tan, all you have to do is do sine over cos, right? So that will be tan, right? So if I rerun this, I expect to see 0. So tan. So that's that. So basically, this is how we use awk to do the floating point arithmetic. So you can do this for addition, subtraction, and all of them, right? So, but then the question is, what if I want to return this and store it as a variable? It's very easy, trust me. All you have to do is just say that, I want to keep this as a variable. So you use a variable name, let's say answer to be equal to, you bring your dollar and then the parentheses. Now you are getting the drill. We said this will run this command and then return the value and store it here. So here, if I save this, I shouldn't get anything, right? Okay, but then if I come down here and say echo, my answer is, or your answer is dollar answer. Hopefully I wrote it correct. Okay, yeah, dollar answer. Then if I run this, I should get your answer is this, right? So now this answer has been stored in an answer variable for me or for us. Okay. So basically, this is how we do floating point arithmetic using the awk utility. You can actually use this to do a lot of serious math if you want to. Okay, so that'll be all for awk. The next one we would look at is the BC, the basic calculator, right? So if you really want to do serious math and do some wild stuff in arithmetic, then you should know of the BC, right? Utility, that's the basic calculator. If I open my terminal and then type which BC, you should see where you have, everybody has it. You can check the manual of BC by just writing man BC, and then it has a lot of instructions here for you, right? And then you can open a BC in interactive mode by just saying BC, and then it opens up. Then you do your mathematics. So 1 plus 1 tells you the answer is 2. 2.2 minus 4.2 tells my answer is negative 2.0. Can do 8 exponent 2. Where's my correct? 8 exponent 2 tells me the answer is 64. What if I say a star star 2? Oh, okay. Doesn't receive the Python syntax. Okay. So SQRT for square root of 4. I should get 2. Then sine, we use S. So sine 0 should be 0. Okay. So this is it for this. This wasn't found because we just ran BC, right? So if you want to make use of the sine, the cos, the exponential, those ones, you would have to add or attach the math library, which we would look at very soon. So to exit, you do Control D to exit the BC utility. The focus of this video is writing bash script or terminal utility. So let's see how we can do that in a bash script. So if you want to do that in a bash script, since this is a script we want to write once and then run it for it to do whatever we want it to do for us, we would have to either echo the command that we want and then pipe it to BC. So basically this is it. So I can echo x, let's say 3 exponents 4 into BC. So I echo this and then I pipe it to BC. Hopefully if I run this, I shouldn't get anything. So I get what? 81, right? 3 exponents 4. Okay. So let's see. What if I do 3 divided by 1.2? What would I get? BC says I get 2. What if I decide to do dash L? BC says I get 2.5. So you saw that the first one just chops the value. It doesn't actually bring the, okay, it doesn't actually bring the decimals. But then let's see. What if I do 2.3 divided by 2? I get what? 1.5. Okay. So now what if let's remove the L. We'll come back to this shortly. And then I say square root sqrt of 80. Okay, let's say 4. And I run this, I should get 2. If I copy this and I paste and I do 4 exponent 2, I should get 16. But then here we are more focused on the floating point, so 2.2. Here I should get 2. Okay. Now we saw that here for the second one, it just brings the whole number, right? The most important thing here is that, sorry, not the whole number, it tells us that non-zero scale in exponent, right? So basically, all you have to do is just say that, no, it doesn't know how to raise to the power to a decimal number, really. Then I would have to extend it. If I do dash L, hopefully this should solve that problem. It still says the same thing too. Okay. So it means that it can only do whole numbers. I think there should be a workaround with that. Okay. So basically, if you want to make use of the sine and cosine function using the BC calculator, you would have to add the library. So you realize that earlier when we used it interactive mode and we did sine 0 and we pipe, it says that there is the function s is not defined, right? So all you have to do is just pass the dash L option that would link it to the math library or include a math library. And this time around, if you should rerun it, it should give us 0. Sine 0 is 0. So this is for sine function. So sine is depicted by S, and then cos is C. So cos 0, you pipe it to be C dash L. Always make sure that you do that. And then this is cosine function. And then this should give us something else. Bear in mind that the values you use are in radians, right? So if I do 2.5 So get something else, cos 2.5. Yeah, so I have that. Okay. Then what if I need tan? So to do tan is the same as the other one is sine x over that. So maybe sine 0 over cos 0 will give me tan. But don't forget to pipe it to BC dash L. You save this. This should give us tan. All right. So, okay. Runtime error function not defined. Sorry, the cos. I said cos instead of C. So you should keep that in mind. You have to make sure that you don't confuse the two. Or you type all of them, but then the BC you just write S and then that, right? So you have 0. What if I want arc? So arc tan is just A. So I have A of 0, right? You pipe it to BC dash L, and then you get what? You get 0. What about arctan of 1? I get this. Okay. What about arctan of 2? I get 1 point that. Okay. So 0 0.5. I get that. So basically this is it. This is how we do the arithmetic with that. Bear in mind that this we are just echoing the answers directly to screen. What if we want to store? Bear in mind that we echo to BC and BC outputs here for us. What if we want to store this in a variable and then work with it? So if I want to store this one, all I have to do is declare my variable answer and say it's equal to, then I say the dollar, the parenthesis, and then now you can then echo your thing, right? So here I want log or len of what? Len 2, right? Then I pipe this to BC dash L. Hopefully this should give me if I run this, I shouldn't get the answer. If I echo answer, I should get dollar answer. I should get what? 6 point that, right? So L is for natural log. So if I do clean of 0, obviously it's that. Like it's a very large negative number. Okay, so basically you have that clean of negative number. You and I know doesn't exist. Let's see. I see. Okay, so make this simple. Ln of E. Would it compute it for me? I see. This is so x squared. So that will be like 4 to the power 4. Then hopefully this should give me something else. Okay, so basically this is how we do it. You can store the computation in the variable and then use the variable later. You can decide to use awk to do all your math operations, or use the BC calculator to do all your calculations. This will bring us to the end of this video. If you've learned something from this video, don't forget to like and subscribe and share your views in the comment sections below. And then, as always, we can't wait to see you in the next one. Thank you.